Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hello, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all, episode 340. I'm Sanjay Parekh.
And I'm Adam Walker, and we have a very random episode for you today with we couldn't even categorize the articles. Like, they're so disparate.
They're not in blocks. They're just
and weird,
smushed together. But then again, isn't every episode of Tech Talk, y'all random and
I mean,
weird?
some more than others. What's really weird to me in particular is like we're taking every TikTok y'all episode and we're cutting it up into TikTok videos and Reels videos. And the ones that get the most views are the most random articles about like Nokia doing weird stuff and like recalls on Tesla. I mean, like the weird, and we get like comments on the weirdest articles too. It's very strange to me. Like the whole experience is very strange.
So, by the way, listeners, if you are on TikTok, you can follow us on TikTok as Tech Talk Y'all. I think it's Tech Talk Y'all Pod.
I think so. Yeah, I think something
that?
like that. Yeah.
You can find us.
Yeah, find us up.
I mean, if
on
you're
Reels
a listener
too.
on this podcast, you're good at searching stuff. So just search us up on TikTok. On TikTok, you can follow us, watch the videos, share the videos, like the videos.
That's it.
I don't know what else you can do with the videos, but do all the things with the videos.
Well, and listen, one more thing, and then we're going to get into the articles. We haven't done this lately, but we're going to say this episode is sponsored by our company, Edgewise.Media. And I'm saying that specifically because what Edgewise does is uses podcasts just like this one to create tons of video, social media content like TikTok and Reels videos. That's the whole thing that we do, and we create a ton of it. So if you need video content for social, let's talk. We can help you out. So
if your social is sad, we can make it happen.
If your social sad,
I just made that up right now. Yeah, I think that's our new tagline. If your social is sad, we can make it happy.
That might be the greatest thing I've heard all week right there. Okay. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Well, you can keep time and track of it now very precisely because American researchers have built the world's most precise and sturdy atomic clock ever.
And it like measures gravitational waves to like what better, I think it said to better define what a second is. Like I've never really thought about that, but like to better define a second, like really? More precisely define a second. Yeah.
It's because you're just over there willy-nilly wasting your seconds and not measuring them precisely. Now we can measure them more precisely and still willy-nilly waste them as we see fit.
Yes.
But apparently this will open up opportunities in research around space and time. I don't really know how.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the time machine so I can go back and look at dinosaurs. Like, that's what I'm waiting on. I want to just go back
and invest in Google and Apple. Like, if I could just do that, like, I don't need to even go back that far. Can I just go back 15 years? That'd be fine. I'm good.
I mean, I think the dinosaurs is better because then maybe you can steal like a dinosaur egg and bring it back to today and be worth a lot.
Okay, so let's break this down into level of physical exertion required for this. Okay, so how much level of effort? How much effort is required to steal a dinosaur egg? And then whatever backward sciencey thing to figure that out and then make money off of it. Versus just go back in time, borrow $10,000 and invest it in Apple. Like what? Like, come on, man. My version's so much easier than yours. Okay.
It's easier. It doesn't sound as much fun though.
Think about the fun I could have today if I invested $10,000. I could be putting up obelisks every freaking where, man. It'd be like obelisk factory up in here. Okay. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be making obelisks like crazy.
It's Adam Obelisk Man Walker.
All right. Next up, tech company unveils tiny spheres that outperform solar panels using both sun and artificial light. And the company says they could hit 60 times the current capacity. That's wild. And I think they were also described in the article as looking like miniature Death Stars, which makes them so much better than everything else. Just that one description alone is just unbelievably amazing.
Yeah, I don't really understand why they have to be spheres like this. I guess it's to reflect the light coming in from all different directions.
I assume so, yeah.
But cool. There's really interesting stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, happening. But looking at those, I think about it. Do I really want those on my roof? Because if it's like this bubbly thing on my roof,
hail falls, pops
exactly.
It,
I'm thinking that it's going to be a problem with weather or birds or I don't know, squirrels.
Golf clubs could be a problem with golf clubs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it has a good fit in certain situations, but maybe not in all of the situations.
I don't know.
Something else that is now in the situation that hasn't been for a long time. Kine, the most delayed video game in history, released after 22 years and released for a platform that is no longer current, which is the Game Boy Advanced. Yeah.
Why?
Why? Yeah.
Why? Like, why? Like, why? Why spend your time on this? I don't understand. Upside. I don't.
Look, they did get a lot of articles written about them because it took them 22 years to make this game. And it was a bunch of people that didn't know how to make a game.
Sure.
That decided to band together and make a game.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you gotta appreciate the perseverance,
the tenacity of it. The tenacity.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good word.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
the tenacity.
I mean, except that's what I always say.
Do they have another 22 years to give to another game? Is the question.
Probably not. No. All right. Next up, speaking of things that are outdated, Japan declares victory in an effort to end government use of floppy disks. Yes, they are no longer using floppy disks in Japan, because they are that much more advanced than we are, because we do still use floppy disks. So, good job, Japan. You did it. You got over the floppy disks. Where
do we use floppy disks?
I think like nuclear stuff, right? Like we've talked about that. We've talked about it on the show before. We use it in like some and in all fairness, I feel like, and we've talked about this before too, I feel like it actually may be more secure because it's such outdated technology. Like it's so outdated that it kind of is inherently secure.
Because nobody has access to try to figure out how to break it. So we talked about this issue 90 episodes ago. In episode 250, we talked about Japan and floppy disks. And you're right. I was just searching through our show notes here, and we did talk about 8-inch floppy disks. In nuclear,
the ones that were genuinely floppy, like actual floppy.
Yes, they were giant floppy disks.
Right.
Nuclear forces, but they dropped the ancient, and we talked about this in episode 108. In case you're listening along and want to go back and listen to those episodes,
please don't do that. Please.
Yeah, that
would almost be as bad as coding a game for 22 years. Like that'd be similar. It's on par. It's really similar.
I mean. I think our callbacks are better than working on a game for 22 years.
And it's more entertaining for sure.
It is more entertaining,
but
right?
Why would you want to listen to tech news that's old? Like that doesn't make any sense at all. Like
because this is the new updated of the callback. And if you don't remember the callback, then you gotta.
I mean, I don't want to go read like 1920s newspapers. I already know what happened, or at least I think I do.
But now you can see the updated version of what happened there.
All right. Fair enough.
Something else that's getting updated is recycling of clothes. A polyester dissolving process could make modern clothing recyclable.
Kind of love that.
Except not completely, because it's super intensive in terms of how they do it, and the chemicals degrade. And also
kind of don't love that.
Materials degrade. But hey, look, they're making progress on it, I guess.
I like progress.
Yeah. You like progress.
That's why I do this show. I love progress. That's why they call me Progress Adam. That's what they call me. So
Adam, the obelisk Progress Adam. That's your new name. And also your website.
Speaking of
Adam Progressive Obelisk. Adam's Progressive Obelisk. All
right. Speaking of progress, wait, no, this is the opposite. Federal judge partially blocks U.S. ban on non-competes, which I don't like that at all. We don't need non-competes. Non-competes are not good. Let's just be done with them. Okay.
So what's funny is in this article, the author goes out and finds people that are like upset that the non-competes, the ban happened.
Yeah.
Because they had like a yoga studio, and then one of their yoga teachers left and took half of the clients with them. And I'm like, well,
be a better yoga teacher. Like that's the solution. Be better than they are. Like that's I'm sorry.
That is part of it. But there's also other things that you can do to keep them from taking your trade secrets, which is like your
baseball bat
list of clients.
Oh,
right?
Of course. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, you can make them sign an agreement about trade secrets. And then if they violate that and take your clients, then that's an issue, and you can sue them for that. So you don't necessarily need a non-compete. Like,
you don't
I
need
get
to go
it.
like Tanya Harding on them.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Yeah. Don't do Tanya Harding on them. That's not okay. That's a different level of like stuff. That's a different kind of non-compete completely.
You will non-compete. That's what I'm saying.
I did not piece those two things together until you said Tanya Harding. I was like, that's not the first. Maybe we need to get Tanya Harding to be the spokesperson for a ban on non-competes.
Such a good throwback. There's just a few of us are going to really appreciate that. Yeah, such a good throwback.
That is a great throwback.
Yeah. All right.
Something else that's getting thrown back. A judge blocks a Mississippi law that required age verification on social media because clearly that's dumb and it's not possible to do effectively. I don't understand how these legislators think like, well, the internet's just like a bouncer in a club and you could just check each person's ID as they come in.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
I will say though,
it's not a series of tubes either.
The LinkedIn did a new thing where you can become LinkedIn verified and it's through one of those,
Share ID or something like that.
No. It's through the one that's at the airport. That's,
Clear. It's through Clear.
Yeah. And you like show your ID and go through the whole thing. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. I
didn't do that. I'm not going to do that.
Now, as I started telling you the story about me doing it, I was like, I shouldn't have done that. And I should never have told Sanjay I did that. Like that was, those are the things that were running through my mind, but my mind is not connected enough to my mouth. So my mouth was already giving me up while my mind was like, no, don't tell him. Don't
stop. Yeah. It was clearly already in queue and there was no stopping it.
Yeah, I'm not good at filtering things.
So now I know where to get a copy of her ID. I just need to break into Clear.
Really, all you need to do is ask me. Like that's really like I'm really that. You can be like Adam for this random thing for business. I need a copy of your ID. But like, okay, Sanjay, here you go, buddy.
Hey, for the bank account, I need access to all of your IDs and credit cards.
Done. Got it. I got you, man. I got you.
And Social Security card while we're at it.
All right. Speaking of pictures of you. Speaking of access, Twilio says hackers identified cell phone numbers of two-factor app Authy users. That's not great.
I think I've said it before on this podcast. You should not be using Authy. There is all kinds of fraud issues with Authy. Yeah. I used to be a fan of Authy. Yeah. I thought it was very well done back in the day when it was its own thing before it got bought by Twilio.
Do you like Bitwarden? Who do you like better?
Love Bitwarden. Bitwarden is
I think Bitwarden's maybe the best one out right now.
I got to tell you, like, I really appreciate their implementation of passkeys, even though there's not many sites that do it.
Okay.
Google is one of them that does passkeys. Yeah. And when I go to log in for the few accounts that I've actually enabled passkeys on, the Bitwarden pops up. It says, select the passkey. I select it. Done. Authentication is done. Yeah. Don't need to do two-factor, nothing. It's so secure. It just kind of moves you right in.
Yeah.
So Bitwarden has done, I think, a really good job. It does a great job on mobile as well.
Yeah.
I think it's really well done. I will say though, because I had this question the other day from one of my kids, I think Bitwarden on mobile Firefox is atrocious. It's actually not good for me. I like just the mobile app. And it works across into Firefox mobile. So I don't know why you would want to add on an extension for Firefox to do that when you could just have the app on there. It doesn't make any sense to me. So anyways, I will call things out even if I love them, if they're doing something
fair.
dumb.
That's fair.
And that I think is a dumb thing. So don't install that, but install the rest of the stuff. One thing you're not going to be able to install anymore is Redbox DVDs maybe in your video player thing, because Redbox's owner files for bankruptcy after repeatedly missing payments and payroll. So
Redbox's
I've never used Redbox. Have you used Redbox? I've never used.
I mean, back in the day when I actually owned a DVD player, I used Redbox, but it's been a hot minute since I've owned a DVD player. First of all, but second of all, apparently Redbox's owner is called like Chicken Soup for the Soul Media, which I was like, wait, isn't that one of those books that I never read? That came out with like 15 other books that I never read, and like now it's the title of a media company that owns video rental units. What is happening right now? So
and you know what this reminded me of?
Yeah,
isn't the company that the actor that plays Dwight on The Office, isn't it Chicken Soup or something or
Oh, I don't think he's involved in that. No, I don't, because Chicken Soup for the Soul was a big thing long before that. I don't think that's correct, but he's
got something or another, and Rainn Wilson. See, I don't know why.
Rainn Wilson. Yeah,
I don't ever remember his name, but there's something
because it's not unique enough. Clearly needs a more unique name.
Oh, see, I knew it was Soul something. It's Soul Pancake.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't Chicken Soup for the Soul. Yeah. So anyway, all that to say is, obviously, I mean, Redbox has been going downhill forever. I think they tried to do like a digital something, and it just never worked. I think they're toast. So.
I can't even remember the last time I've seen one of their vending machines somewhere.
Same. Yeah.
They used to have them at Kroger.
Everywhere. CVS, Walgreens, everywhere, man. Everywhere. They were crazy. So
I couldn't even tell you where one is right now.
Me neither.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable Snowman. He's not an axe murderer. One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
All right, we only have one for you in Weird and Wacky, and it's an interesting one. The article title is, I accidentally discovered my identical twin on TikTok. So this TikTok creator had gotten on TikTok to kind of express herself and was, growing her audience. And then one of her friends was like, hey, you should look at this other TikToker. They look exactly like you. And at first she was kind of annoyed. She's like, what do you mean they look exactly like me? And then she looked and she's like, no, she looks exactly like me. Anyway, goes to find out that, talks to her mother and finds out that not only was she a twin, she was actually a triplet and was separated from her other sisters at birth, and they were adopted out. And now the two of the three have found each other, and they still create content on TikTok, and their audiences have grown collaboratively since then. And they're still looking for the third sister. So it's kind of like a happy, sad story. Cause they found each other, and that's awesome. Still looking for the third sister. That's kind of sad. So
I'm like, how have they not found the third sister yet with all the news around this? Like,
well, I thought
armies of bored internet people would go and find this person for them.
Well,
right?
I think they both seem pretty young, like social media users. So it's entirely possible that their sister is not active on any social media platform.
Could be
at this point. Because they look like teenagers to me. So it's like, maybe they're not really on any social platform yet. So I don't know. But it's interesting. It's kind of a neat sort of found my sister. They lived about 1,000 miles apart, got together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
and they didn't specify, and we're assuming they're identical triplet sisters, which
I assume, I mean, based on the fact they look the same,
pretty unusual, right? To have rare, triplet identical anythings, right?
Like I believe so.
I don't know that I've ever met identical triplets.
I have not.
Twins, identical twins. Yeah,
I have seen some identical triplets on TikTok. It's a guy. They're all guys. And they like to mess with people. So like they'll all wear the same outfit. And if somebody's like walking down a very long hallway, like the first one will go and like almost bump into the person walking down the hall and be like, oh, excuse me. And then like 50 yards later, the next one will bump into him and be like, oh, excuse me. And then 50 yards later, the third one will bump into him and like just totally freak that person out. Like there's a glitch in the matrix kind of thing. So I do. I mean, I've seen TikTokers that are identical twin triplets, but it is rare, I think. So there you go. Yeah.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, it's tech wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
I have something that's pretty vanilla. It's not anything fancy. It's just like, I needed something.
So it's the best flavor. That's what you're telling me. It's vanilla as in it's the best flavor. That's what you mean?
Yeah,
just to be clear.
That's why they say things are vanilla when they say plain. French vanilla, you have a French vanilla. You don't have a French chocolate.
Vanilla is the best flavor. Vanilla is the best flavor. You're not going to convince me otherwise. It's the best flavor.
I'm saying you had to take vanilla and make it fancier by making it French. You didn't do that with chocolate.
I take vanilla and make it fancier by eating it. That's what I do. All right. Wait, what's your tech wreck?
Yeah. So the tech wreck is, listeners like, oh my God, get to the tech wreck.
Please stop.
The tech wreck is, so I've got this fancy sit stand desk that happens to be metal, and I wanted a way to kind of clamp down my cables onto this desktop. and then not have them move around everywhere. So I started looking around. The company that makes this desk actually has their own little clamps, little magnetic clamps, but they're $25 for 3 of them, which is ridiculous. They're just little machine pieces of aluminum. So I found these on Amazon, and they come with a little metal disc that you can actually put underneath them that then you can kind of, keep your cables clamped down there. But I don't need that. And so you can route a cable through this thing and keep it wherever you want on a metal desk like this. Nice. If you don't have a metal desk, obviously you can use that little piece of metal that comes with it. Now, here's the thing. I've used these kinds of things before, and I've got other ones that actually clamp onto the cable. But the problem with those is that it's got to be a diameter of a cable that's very, very small, but also it's hard and annoying to remove those. Whereas this, you can take this off, move the cable around. Then when you're ready, you can put it back on and kind of keep it there. So, these come $10 for $13. Really, really easy and straightforward to use. Doesn't take much skill. It's a magnetic cable holder. I don't even know if it has a brand name on it, but, works pretty well. I just got them today and I started using them and I kind of dig them. So there you go. If you need to unclutter your cable mess, try these out. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Adam? Nice. What do you got for us this week?
I'm going to recommend the Ulanzi M16 extendable mini camera tripod. So, I used to use this and I put my DSLR on it and it sort of stood up behind my laptop and sort of peeked over the top of my laptop. Since then, I've gotten more advanced with my DSLR setup. So I do not use it for that, but I now use this for, my Digi Pocket 3 camera. And so, I can kind of extend it, put my Pocket 3 camera on top and then, do like a little selfie video of myself. Cause I'm doing a ton more video content. I've decided to release 5 videos a day across all of my personal accounts.
5 a day.
5 a day. And so I'm recording a ton of video and editing that video and then releasing that video. So this has been profoundly helpful in that process. So
are you using that tripod and setting it up somewhere? Or are you holding it?
Both. I'm doing both. So yeah, so it also becomes a tripod. So I should have shown that for video. So you can hold it and extend it. Or you can set it up as the tripod and use it that way. So I actually do both depending on where I'm at. If I'm at a spot with like at my desk, for example, it's easy to pop it up in the tripod, configuration and use it. Otherwise I'll just grab it and go.
So it's like a selfie stick that's also a tripod.
That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Selfie tripod stick.
It's a selfie tripod selfie video stick. Yourself stick. So
video yourself. Yeah.
All right. All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjayparikh.com. What about you, Adam?
You can find me on my website at adamjwalker.com. It's got links to everything. And one last quick promo.
Also at adamsobelisks.com.
Adamsobelisks.com. Yeah.
Okay.
If you need video content for your business, Edgewise.Media, we can help. Go check it out.
Also, rate the podcast 5 stars. You haven't done it yet. Just go do
5 stars. 5 stars.
Yeah, sign up for Spotify. Give us 5 stars. You don't have to listen to the episode there.
Don't listen.
Just give us 5 stars.
It's probably better if you don't.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.